Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a slice of gaming history that's close to my heart, the Apple IIe. Join me on a nostalgic journey back to the mid-80s, a time when this iconic machine introduced many of us to the world of video gaming, or some of us at least. Stick around as I share some of my favorite games and a quirky little project that just might surprise you. When I was about 11 or 12, back in the 1980s, 85 to 87, something like that, my mother was a substitute teacher at an elementary school that I used to attend. Every summer, she managed to borrow one of the computers from the labs. They had just started doing computer education back in the 80s. And the ones they had were the Apple IIe. She borrowed the Apple IIe from the school for me, brought it back for me for the summer just to play around with because I had been bothering them that I wanted a computer. I had been wanting them to buy me a computer, so she brought it home for me to try out. So, the Apple IIe. It has a 1 megahertz processor, 64 kilobytes of RAM, and 16 kilobyte ROM drive with low resolution and high resolution graphics. There were a couple of games it came with from the school, like Choplifter and some other school educational games that I really don't remember too much. But the real adventure began at our local mall. It was a medium-sized outlet with an arcade room, appropriately called the Swamp. This place was legendary, filled with every arcade game you could imagine. I spent many days there, but that's another story for another video. And this place was positioned next to a larger sized toy store, KB Toys. There was the Swamp, and there had Aladdin's Castle. Very two big arcade rooms, but they're not there anymore. They haven't been there since the early 90s. So this was a long time ago. At this time in our local mall, KB Toys. But the KB Toy Store around this time held bins full of software games for home computers, brimming with bins full of computer games. There were other brands available, but what we, or my dad and mom, bought me were the supply of Apple IIe games that were available. Big old bin full of Apple games. Today, I'm going to check out some of these games for the Apple IIe, and this is because this topic has some meaning for me. It takes me back to that time when I was just a kid gamer with nothing to do for the summer but go to swimming lessons or go to the water slide or sit and play these Apple II games. I mean, we did have an Atari back then. This was before the NES came out, but I always wanted a computer. Anyway, I even bought a book on how to program in BASIC language. This was my earliest introduction to programming. And I had this idea with my cousin that we could make a woman after watching Weird Science. And it came out like this. Back at home, my parents indulged my newfound obsession by picking up Apple IIe games from the KB Toys. There were titles like Castle Wolfenstein, the original Castle Wolfenstein, Taipan, there was Crazy Maisie, Super Bunny, and Tapper. And they not only filled my summer days, but sparked a lifelong passion for computing and gaming. I could go on about these titles. There's so many of them. I mean, the titles for the Apple IIe, that would be another video, but I'm going to try to review all the games that I played on the system that were some of my favorites. You can say they suck, but I'm going to do this just because some of them, these were some of the most fun moments of my life playing these games, and I still play them. And there was this casino game called Golden Apple Casino, which you can only find the source code for now on Archive. So before you ask, I'll tell you that no, I don't have an Apple IIe currently. I I don't have a lot of room where I live in, so I don't keep a lot of old consoles. I have a few, but that's one that I wouldn't be able to hold. If you're into keeping old consoles and computer systems, I say go ahead and get one. But you really don't have to do that anymore with emulation and all. The Apple emulators are available online, and I'm going to be using the Virtual Apple 2. They have all of the games for the original Apple IIe. Actually, I'm going to use Apple Win for the emulator, and we'll see how that goes. I mean, if you want one, I'd say get one. The games are still fun, and I like them to this day, but some are crap, but I still have fun playing them. The Apple IIe cannot be emulated on the Steam Deck in Emulation Station. Some say that it can run in the MAME emulators, but I haven't had any luck doing that. The best way you'll find is just to play them in your favorite web browser on WinApple or Apple Win. There's also a Linux version called LinApple, and that's a way to go on Linux. By having these websites available to the public, you can play these games. Well, I can play these games during the summer again, and whenever I want to now, just like the old days, on a computer. Just like it used to be when I was 10, 11, 12 years old, and all I had to do was play these games. Would I keep one in my house? Probably not. Not judging you if you do, but you can't have everything in life. I played all those games. Back then, they were an amazing experience. As a kid, I would never have dreamed that I could play these games for free whenever I wanted to. So go ahead and give them a try if you're able to. Let me know in the comments if you did, if you're going to. Yeah. Today, even though the original hardware is long gone, the spirit of the Apple IIe lives on through emulation. You don't need the original machine to enjoy these classics. Many are available right in your web browser or through various emulators like LinApple for Linux. Reflecting on those days, the Apple IIe was more than just a computer. It was a gateway to imagination, problem solving, and endless fun. Whether you're a collector or a casual fan, I encourage you to revisit these games, dive into the nostalgia, and maybe like me, you'll find yourself transported back to a simpler, yet incredibly exciting time in gaming history. I'd love to hear about your memories of the Apple IIe or any other retro games you hold dear. Drop a comment below and let's get the conversation going. If there's a specific game or console you'd like me to explore next, let me know. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay updated on our retro gaming adventures. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening, and have a good day.